I've been mentioning over the last little bit that the language of wokeness has traveled across the Twitterverse and into the right-wing vlogosphere that is OAN and Newsmax and Fox and all that kind of stuff. In the same way that the tales of marijuana eventually reached the dinner table of America, and you had parents talking to their kids about smoking the Mary Jane cigarettes, right? Okay, so whenever you hear these folks bring up woke or say woke or whatever, you can tell that that phrase has officially jumped the shark, isn't in the normal lexicon anymore, and now can be transmuted into a slander, basically, is the idea at this point. And it's not very effective. It's kind of adorable, but this is how Johnny, your mother and I are concerned with you hanging out on the interwebs too much. You know, it has reached that level to where the hosts on Newsmax allegedly, and I have not watched this because I do not watch things ahead of time, because who needs that kind of hell in their life? Newsmax hosts test their wokeness. Oh, do they now? So let me see.
As host and producer.
This guy, Fernando Uribe, sorry, from Real Talk, which I'm gonna guess is right-wing spin, because that's usually whenever somebody puts real and talk together, and there's usually a TM close behind.
Producer of the Real Talk with Fernando Uribe.
Wait, why did the audio? Yeah, the audio only left me. Hold on. All right, you bastards. Okay, my headphones are working, and we'll open up Loopback and see what its problem is. Sometimes, oh, you got to turn this on and back off and this kind of thing.
Professor at Bergen.
Hold on.
Community College. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate being here.
Now, Fernando.
Which means he's on the team, and he wouldn't be invited on if he didn't 100% support their premise to start with. You know, for fairing and balancing. How woke are you? I've always wanted to know. Oh, please, please.
Fernando, I think you actually have some questions for us, right?
Yeah.
This is gonna be fun. This is like one of those stunts we do on like if we were a real morning show. Oh my gosh.
You know what? It is National Teachers Day, and I want to, I work in academia, and I'm surrounded by liberals. I want to find out how woke both of you are, especially with a really, really short quiz. So let's kind of get to it very quickly. And
oh my God, it's gonna be so embarrassing.
Let's see how woke both of you are. So number one,
they are genuinely nervous. Like, she's like, this is gonna be cute and fun or whatever, and he is shitting bricks. You shouldn't use that word. Sorry, shitting rocks.
How do you feel about manspreading? A, it's a real problem. B, people should give each other space. Or C, it's complete nonsense. What do you say, Heather and Bob?
By the way, I'm gonna go with 2. I don't know how woke I am on this. I mean, unless you want to call like a woman with her kid and her shopping bags mom spreading. I'm gonna go with 2.
It's complete. It's more than complete nonsense.
Okay, so he was definitely invited on with a thing.
It's incomplete nonsense. It makes no.
Incomplete nonsense. I'm sorry, rando Newsmax host editor guy. So when you spread your legs, there's nothing. It's incomplete somehow.
So far, okay. So number 2, should
what? Okay, are we accumulating these? Am I supposed to be writing this shit down? Does somebody remember what I said on the first question? Number 2.
Transgender people be allowed to?
Should transgender people be allowed to use the bathrooms of their choosing? Well, that's kind of a loaded question. Okay.
Use the bathroom of their choosing. A, I don't feel comfortable with that. B, make all bathrooms gender neutral. Or C, of course.
I'm going to go with 3. Even though he said C, it says 3. It's adorable. I'm going to go with, of course, although here's the issue that I have. I'll tell you what. No. You know why? Because transgender people aren't using the bathroom quote of their choosing. They're using the bathroom that's appropriate for their identity. If a trans woman decides to go in the men's room while presenting fully as a woman, because in the moment she's choosing to use the men's room, and biological men can't choose to use the ladies' room for the, where there's no gender neutral bit, then no, rules apply to how you are presenting to the world and to your level of commitment to your visual presentation, I guess to some degree, of your gender identity. The real question is, which bathroom should non-binary people use? Or should they just pee in the hall? I'm obviously, this is my audition for Newsmax.
I'll say number one.
I don't want to know that much about you. I just want to go in and use the men's room.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you're choosing to use the men's room. Okay, and I'm assuming she's choosing to use the ladies' room? Or if there isn't one, what do you choose to do? Do you choose to shit your pants? What happens?
Okay, number 3.
Okay, we'll see. That wasn't the right answer, but okay.
Should women be allowed combat roles in the military? A, yes, women are equal to men. B, but held the same standards as men. Or C, no, women are weaker.
They're not helping him at all. Like, nobody in the graphics department is recognizing that he's saying A, B, and C, and they're doing 1, 2, 3. Like, nobody cares. So we're just going to trans-alphabetize and trans-numerical everything. Is that what it is? It's gross. I'm woke on numbers and letters, and I'm very offended by this. Yes, but held to the same standards as men.
I say number.
I'm doing 2 again. I'm going to end up a centrist, or I'm going to end up an establishment Democrat, aren't I?
2.
Yeah, I'd go with 2.
As long as you're held to the same standards.
Yeah, same standards, but you.
Yeah, they do both of these two do push-ups to see who gets to start their lead off on the news every morning, and she always wins. So they're very woke.
If you can do the job, do the job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm surprised about the quiz here in a moment. Number 4, should a baker be forced to make a wedding cake for a gay couple even though that they don't agree with gay marriage? A, yes. B, maybe. Or C, no.
If they sell their cakes to the public and they're not an orthodox religious cake making company, I guess I fall into the maybe, right? Oh my God, cakes! I'm glad we're handling the really heavy hitting issues.
Let's see.
Oh, it's easy. No.
Right.
I mean, they can find somebody else to make it. I mean, no.
Can they?
And I know that disagrees with.
Can the other people find a different? Can they choose which taxes they pay that keep the street lights on and the stoplights working and the speed limits enforced and the roads repaired? Can they take away their taxes from the road that leads to that person's business? Or do we all as taxpayers have to hold that person up to an equal position with other people while they compete unfairly in the marketplace? That would be the question.
Law right now. There are people paying fines, for it, but no.
Yeah, for discrimination. Mm-hmm. Equal protection. I know it's upsetting.
They shouldn't be forced.
Yeah.
It's a private enterprise, for goodness sake.
Yeah, that is supported by the public commons that everybody pays into. You can't have a private blacks-only school. Although I'm sure that Newsmax would support that idea for just the legal wiggle room it gives them.
That's what I was going to say, for sure.
Okay. All right. Last but not least, do you think young children should be given the choice to become transgendered and receive hormone treatments? A, yes, it's their body, their choice. B, wait until they're adults. Or C, no.
No.
I would wait until they're an adult, because an adult can do anything. I mean, you can't get piercings or tattoos when you're a kid. You can't modify your body before then. I mean, should be given choice to become transgender and receive hormone treatments. Depends on which ones those are. Are we talking about puberty blockers? Or are we talking about testosterone and estrogen? I'm kidding. These are all just big. All right.
Yeah, I'd go wait until you're an adult, make whatever decision you want. But that's ludicrous for kids. They're still developing psychologically.
Yeah, these two are still developing psychologically. I wouldn't trust them to make that decision.
Mentally.
Heather, Bob, I have to tell you, you know what? This is probably one quiz you're going to be ecstatic about failing because you are the least woke people probably walking. So you've got an F on this.
Bullshit. He didn't add shit up at all. They answered mitigatory on 2 of the 5 questions. They're not the most anti-woke people. I think the fix was in.
For everybody out there that's thinks that they're woke.
Choice to become transgender is problematic phrasing. Sean, they're bigots. Stop treating... Look, guys, I don't know how many times I have to tell you that when you come across inserious people discussing a serious topic, interjecting actual seriousness into it does not help the serious topic. It brings it down to their level. They are only... and should be only used for absolute mockery of the people involved. If these folks are too stupid and have too thin a brain pan to even deal with the issues that are laid out in front of them, then why should you take seriously any of their answers or their premises, which is, I guess, the primary issue we have with this nonsense.
Thank you very much.
Guys, you know, both of you are pretty on the money on your answers. And again, I'm pretty sure you're happy about failing this quiz altogether.
What about the answer about the females in the military?
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was kind of a woke answer.
No, it was kind of mitigatory. But he wasn't paying attention, asshole. This is a setup.
Saying yes, they should be allowed, but they should be held to the same
partial
standard.
Credit.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm supposed to check. Am I even supposed to listen to the woman when she asks the question? How does this work? You're really, I mean, if this dude has a choice to make right now, okay? He can either ignore her question outright because it was asked by a woman, or he can act like it's serious and accidentally become woke. It's really frightening. This entire guy's emotional identity is on the line.
Right?
Yeah, Sean, don't please. I understand it's a social media thing to think that input on something, even when you're rightfully outraged at something, that outrage, when it's couched in its reality, will actually benefit the conversation when it comes to assholes like this. It won't. The best thing you can do is mock and ignore, honest to God. Because these idiots think this actually makes a point. They think this is a cute stunt somebody dreamed up in the newsroom beforehand, like any other, morning local television show, wherever they borrowed this set from. They think this is adorable and interesting and makes a point. And this dude's on a fucking mission. But they're all clowns. Do not make the mistake of attributing any of your reality to the conversation between these 3 idiots. Am I accusing them of peddling bullshit? Not necessarily, because bullshit has a function as a fertilizer and is therefore sometimes useful. And if you don't believe me, ask Biff Tannen.
No, believe it or not, most of the polling will always tell you it's the first answer.
Really?
So,
why is that woke then? What makes it woke? If it's it's the mitigatory answer. If most people answer it that way, then it ain't woke, dumbass. It's the middle of the road answer. Why is this what even makes this a woke quiz?
And it's either you're woke or you're a joke. And I think that's unfortunately what a lot of teachers, Heather and Bob, are facing now in higher education. But it's also trickling down to the high school, the middle.
Yeah, show that again. And have him say A, B, and C again. Professor gives woke report card. Jesus Christ. Somebody had to type this up.
School and even the elementary school level. Mm-hmm. And that's really disturbing for parents out there that see that.
What's disturbing? That when the ROTC comes to campus, both males and females and transgender people can apply or join the ROTC and then go into the military if they can qualify and pass all the physical tests or are useful in a support structure and want to get one of the degrees related to it because they're going to defend a country that is religiously, racially, sexually pluralistic, and where the experiment in democracy where everybody comes and nobody's got America on their 23andMe. Or, I'm sorry, is this the army is really to defend some sort of weirdly racially homogenous idea that would have offended all of the soldiers that fought in World War II, by the way.
That their kids are being indoctrinated as young as, even first grade. That should really raise a red flag.
They're being indoctrinated? In what? Which part? No matter who you are, when you grow up and you get married, there's going to be cake. Oh, cake! Oh my God, cake! They're indoctrinating our children. No, some of you won't get cake. Some of you are going to grow up and somewhere around high school or college start experimenting with a girlfriend, and you won't invite me, and I'll be very upset. And then you'll want to get married and you'll send out announcements and I won't get one. And then you're going to go and try and buy a cake and I'm going to call my friend and he's going to go, no cake for you.
Flag, Heather and Bob, about how disturbing, education is becoming in this country. Here in New Jersey, case in point, we keep getting ranked every year with the best schools in the country, supposedly, but you'd be surprised. I have a lot of colleagues that are a lot more woke and they're not afraid to show that. I don't do that in the classroom. I don't think that's the proper place and scenario for it, but
what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody gets ranked by wokeness, and New Jersey schools are not amongst the top woke schools in the country. What? What is that? I mean, sure, the teachers are doing their job. Kids are coming out capable, able to read, do math, know history, and all this kind of stuff, but where are they on the big questions like cake?
I'm a minority in my field.
Well, Fernando, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for coming out as a minority in front of these two. They're minorities too. They're with you. We're looking at 3 clear minorities. If any of you were pulled over, I would keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Much for giving us the woke quiz, and thank you to all the teachers out there on National Teacher
Happy
Day.
Teachers Day.
23andMe shows Indigenous Americans. No, it shows tribal Native Americans. It doesn't show Indigenous Americans. Because technically you're not, because especially if you're on tribal lands, you're sovereign. Never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, is Yoda a Republican? What the hell? What are these people doing? I don't have time for this shit.